So welcome back to part 3 of our table saw cabinet making project. Today I'm going to be showing you how I installed the drawers. I've got one drawer installed. We're going to finish up the second drawer, get the trim on the back and the front put on, and as well as maybe some trim around the sides. So let's take a look at what we've got going so far. What I've done so far is I've already got my bottom drawer installed inside the cabinet. I've got my brackets installed, and what I did was I measured up 1 inch for the bracket that actually installs to the drawer itself, and then this slide goes and mounts to the cabinet. But what I had to do is I had to put a piece of wood along this line where this goes so I could secure this. Now, how I did that was, like I said, I measured up 1 inch, installed this first, then I measured how far I wanted the bottom drawer to be, because I don't want the bottom drawer to be scraping on the bottom here. And again, this is going to get a piece of 3/4 trim around it to hide this, just like this side piece is. Just going to be thinner, obviously. And I went ahead and mounted a 2x2 in here. Now I need to do the same thing for my upper drawers. Now, with my upper drawers, or my upper drawer, I have my upper drawer right here. Sorry, I think my phone was going off. My upper drawer is right here, and again, I did the same thing. Measured in 1 inch. This is my bracket. This is my front. I have my other bracket. Now what I need to do is, on this mark that I've made, I've measured down how high I want the actual drawer to be, because again, I got a trim piece going here. So I need to put a 2x2 right here, and that's exactly where this lines up at. So this will line up right on that mark and slide into place. So that's what I'm about to do, which is install these 2x2s so I can mount, one on each side, so I can mount the brackets that are going to hold this drawer. After I'm done with that, then we're going to get to cutting all the other pieces, put the top on, put the back on, and then this cabinet will essentially be done minus the little bit of trim that I got to put on. But I can't put this on until I get the other cabinet built. Cabinet being the outfeed cabinet that holds the shop vac and the router station and whatnot. Now it's time to install our drawers. Now, I've already had this one installed. I know you saw it, but I figured I would go ahead and put them in so you can see. And these are a little bit tricky. I don't ever plan on taking them out, but lining them up is a little bit tricky because it is, after all, pretty tight. Okay, you hear the click. This one should have clicked, which I believe it did. Let's just double check. Yeah, there we go. All right, so our bottom drawer is in. Functions. Now for our top drawer. Top drawer has to go in the exact same way, and again, like I said, it's kind of tricky getting it lined up because it is tight. There we go. Just has to get worked in a little bit. So now I just need to make sure that everything is square and whatnot before I put the back on, and we can move on from there. We can finally get the back put on. We can put our trim pieces on the front, which I won't be using screws for because they're going to be seen. And then I need to get the top made. So that's the next step. So I've been a little bit busy, as you can see, trying to finish this cabinet up. We got our top on. Now, I plan on putting some sort of veneer on top of this to kind of hide the screw holes, because I'm going to be mounting that table saw on top of here. That's this cabinet's purpose is to mount that table saw on top of there. But I've also got a trim piece on the side here. I've got my trim around the front right there, along the bottom. Again, the drawers still work. I need to put the drawer hardware on, which is what I'm going to do next. And of course, we've got our back piece on. Now, the other cabinet is going to actually attach right here. It's going to be taller. It's going to be the same height as the table saw. And then my 3/4, my plan was to run the other piece of 3/4 into here and give it a little more strength. And that's kind of why I did what I did by not putting this all the way out to the outside, was so I could put my other piece of 3/4 for the other cabinet and be able to attach it here, give it some strength, some rigidity, so it doesn't have a hinge point, basically. So that's our cabinet. Now, one other thing I need to mention is I'm also going to be hiding these screws by putting this type of trim along the bottom. And again, it'll extend all the way to the other cabinet. This one will extend probably to right here, because this piece is going to go all the way up. But what I need to do now is I need to drill my holes for my handles. So that's what we're going to do right now. One of the things we need to do to finalize the front of this cabinet is to install our handles. So I've already got some marks on the wood, and these are what our handles are going to look like. We're going to have one here and one here, which are going to match the rest of the handles in my garage. So what I need to do is I need to drill my holes. Now, first thing I did was I measured the width. I have a template for cabinet handles, but these handles are a little wider than my template is. So I had to improvise, which was find center, figure out the width where the lines are, make a mark, figure out where center is, and this is my center, and that's where I'm going to drill my holes to install my handles. So we're going to go ahead and drill these holes. All right, and that should line up. There we go. And I'll poke some screws through here. I may actually have to get up and run them through with the drill. All right, I've got a new battery. This is more like it. And I probably need some new drill bits too, but that'll be next. All right, let's look inside. All right. So what I need to do now is I may have to stand up for this. Get the screws started in the holes so I can poke them through. Okay, I got my screws in. Now what I need to do is tighten them to the handle and I'm going to do them a little at a time. Okay, I need to do the other one. All right. Okay, and there we have a handle on. So I'll do the same thing with the other one. I'm going to put the screw through the hole that we drilled, get it started with the drill. Until it pops out the other side. And we'll set our handle up there. Go. Get our handle, line up the handle with the threads of the screws. Okay, and now we have handles on our drawers. Now that we have our handles installed, it's time to start on the other part of the project, which is the outfeed cabinet that goes on the back side of this one. So please stay tuned to part 4. And again, thank you for watching my channel. See you next time in the What Now workshop.